Okay, it's day 2. Sorry, there was a huge bug up there. I don't know if you saw it. I am so excited for today because today's just going to be a great conversation because we're going to talk all about cravings, snacking, and pitfalls that we might run into. And it's not if we're going to run into these, it's when. Um, Probably like on day 1 of your journey, honestly. Like these things are going to come up and we have to be ready to play offense rather than defense. So like defensive is like, oh my goodness, there's a plate of brownies sitting there. I want to eat them all. I probably am going to. That's a defensive, like trying to assess that situation. But if we can do some offensive work before we even get into that situation, we're going to be a lot better off. So let's talk more about how we can be prepared for when the cravings kick in, for when those situations come up, when there's all the food and we want to eat it all. Like, what does that look like? The first thing I'm going to say, which I didn't talk about yesterday, is Beachbody has 2 different nutrition programs: Ultimate Portion Fix, 2B Mindset. Get one of these. Get your hands on one of these. You can add them onto your challenge pack. They are amazing. It's a detailed nutrition plan and course by a certified nutritionist. Like, there's nothing like it out there, and you get step-by-step how to create your meal plan, how to go to parties and still stay on plan. They're both very different, and if you want more details on how they're different, I would be happy to. I'm not going to spend my time here telling you about both programs, but they're both very different. One is for the more like intuitive eating type person. The other is for someone who wants to count and likes macros and wants to kind of have a more structured program. So get your hands on one of those. Those will set you up for success in your nutrition along with this group that we're doing. So when I got sidetracked, when those cravings and those parties and all that stuff come, how can we be set up for success? The first thing I want to say is, if you have not read Made to Crave by Lisa TerKeurst, you need to go buy it right now and read it. I wish I could read the whole book every single day of my life. It is so good. Basically, the premise is that the right word? Premise. We were created to crave more of Jesus and more of God. So that is already in us, and Satan uses food as something to fulfill that craving. So Lisa just shares her story on how she has found that food freedom and practical tips that help when cravings strike, when you feel like you can't stick to your meal plan, when you want to give up. Like, all that stuff is in there. I'm going to share a few things with you guys tonight, but it is so good. So please read that. Okay, so I feel like there are 2 types of people when it comes to the treats and the snacks and the cheat days or cheat meals or whatever that you want to call it, basically like going off your meal plan. There's 2 different types of people. The first person is good with like 1 square of dark chocolate after your dinner, and you're like, oh, that was great, I'm satisfied. I'm going to have a treat meal Saturday night. Oh, that was an awesome cheeseburger and fries Sunday morning, back on my plan, no problem. Just that person that can designate those treats and cheats and can be good with that. The other person, having that thing, that piece of chocolate, can totally derail you. This is me. So this is the camp that I fall into. When I have that piece of dark chocolate after dinner, instead of saying, oh, that was awesome, like I feel so satisfied, thankful I could have chocolate today, I'm going to eat the whole bar. If I'm going to have a cheeseburger and fries at date night on Saturday night, I know that on Saturday morning, so I'm like, might as well just like make this a treat day, right? Like, that totally derails me. So when you're getting started on your journey, you have to really consider what camp you're in. And if you are on that camp where like having a treat or a cheat will totally derail you, like, you need to go cold turkey. Like, you need to do 100% on your plan. And that's where I'm at. Like if I decide I'm going to have, I don't know, pizza for dinner, it's hard to get back on track. And that's just the nature of like mindset and what kind of personality you have. So please decide that first. So if you know that you're the person that needs that 100% all in, like make that decision right now. Like maybe you're going to start 21 Day Fix and do the portion fix for 21 days. Go all in 100% for 21 days. You can do it. It's going to be hard, but you can totally do it. So my dog. Okay, I'm going to share just some practical tips that help me when cravings strike. The first thing is you have to just start. This is going to sound silly and you're going to be like, Erin, come on, like, why are you saying this? But the less junk that you have in your system, like say you're trying to cut out sugar or soda, the less soda that you have and the more that you wean off of that soda, the less your body craves it. That's just the nature of like science and how cravings work. Like if you can cut yourself off from sugar, your body will slowly start not craving sugar. So you have to start getting it out of your diet ASAP, because your body will naturally start craving healthier stuff. Like it just makes sense. If you feed your body chips and cookies, like that's what it's going to want. If you feed your body healthy things, that's what it's going to want. So start there. You got to get all the junk out first, because then your body will really work with you instead of against you with those cravings. Second thing, this is from that Made to Crave book, is praying through your cravings. This has helped me a ton. And she talks about how like literally when she was on her nutrition journey, and a craving struck, like she saw that brownie and she's like, I gotta have that brownie. She would pray through it. The other tip that I have is leave the room. Like if you're in the kitchen and you're like, I have to have those goldfish crackers, get out of the kitchen, go outside, go, like today we washed the car and I was like wanting a snack, but we came outside and we washed the car and then it was lunchtime. I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime. I went without a snack and I survived. You know, like get out of that situation, pray through it. Ask God to give you that strength. If you can just hold on, it's so hard. It is so hard. Lisa in her book talks about how she would literally go into her closet crying because she wanted that brownie so bad. And it seems silly, you know, to talk about this, but it's so true. Like Satan has such a hold on our health and fitness and our nutrition in this way and our food choices. But we have something that is so much more powerful, and that's God's strength. So if you can just remove yourself from that situation, and pray through that craving, start there. In that book, she also has a whole section of Bible verses that you can put on cards and put them where you might need them, on the fridge, on the pantry, so you can go through those as you need them. I already said this, but when that craving hits, find something else to do. I was talking with a friend and she was like, how do I drink more water? I always struggle with getting my water in. And I told her to pair her water with her drinking water with another habit that she had. So like every time that she would pick up a toy off the floor, she would take a drink of water because she knew that those two habits went together. So think about like if you start wanting a soda, that in turn means that you go flip open your Bible and read a passage. Just retraining your brain, like we talked about yesterday, retraining your brain that when a craving hits, it doesn't mean that you just go eat. When a craving hits, you go call a friend, or when a craving hits, you go read a story to your kids, or when a craving hits, you go on a walk. Like you can retrain your brain to do something different with that craving feeling, and in turn make better choices. So the next thing I have, and I want to get on my soapbox about this, but I won't, get the junk out of your house. This is I'm talking to myself too, because if we buy a bag of chips for a cookout and there's leftovers, I'm going to sit and eat that bag of chips because it's in my pantry. If you are struggling with soda, get that soda out of your house. you're gonna have to go get in your car, go to the gas station, get soda. Like it's a lot more work to get your soda than it is just walking to the fridge and getting it. Get it out of your house. Our 2B Mindset program has some little taglines that I love, and one is called OOSOM, OOSOM, out of sight, out of mind. So if it is out of sight, if you don't have it in your house, we're going to talk about shopping tomorrow. Don't buy the cookies at the grocery store. Don't do that because then you're going to eat them when they come home. The other thing we talk about too is like, but my family likes the cookies. Like I get that. I totally get that. Because my kids don't eat anything but macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. Like they don't eat a single green thing right now. Like that's just where we're at. But they know, like, they get cookies when they go to grandma's house. Like, we just don't have cookies in our house. And it's okay. Like, they're going to live. And it's hard getting the family on board, but it's worth it. It's worth it because chances are, like, you're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing it for them, too. You know, so if you have to have that family meeting, like, hey, this is our new grocery list, you know, and, like, might take some getting used to. Like, yes, we can have some treats every now and then, but, like, I'm not going to pick up a package of Oreos every time I go to the store. Sorry. Like, it just has to happen. If it's in your house, chances are you're going to eat it when a craving hits to eat that thing. So, get it out of your house. The last thing I want to talk about is just find some snacks that are on your plan that you love. I love apples and peanut butter, so I always have apples and peanut butter. I love yogurt with a whole grain granola and blueberries. I love that. I have those two snacks almost every single day. So when you have those cravings and you get those snacks, whatever meal plan that you're on, you get snacks during the day. Like, that's awesome. You get those snacks. Pick some things that you love that you won't get bored of and just stick to them. Make sure that you have them on your grocery list every single week. Make sure you always have that stuff fresh and ready to go. Sit down and write the snacks that are on your plan that you enjoy. Tape that into my grandma always had all of her sticky notes on the inside of her cupboard door that I just love, that I'm going to start doing. But like, tape that up and say, these are my snack options. Is it time for a snack? Okay, here's what I have to pick from. And just create those rhythms and those routines. So when that snack time hits, you know what you're going to have. You have a plan. Which we're going to talk about tomorrow, is planning. So I hope these tips were helpful. Just know, like, cravings are going to come. The parties are going to come. If you can go into that party with a plan of like, hey, I know there's going to be every junk food under the sun at this party. I'm going to have a slice of cake and a glass of punch. And like everything else is going to be fruits and vegetables from the veggie tray. Go in with that plan. Come out sticking to that plan. And you didn't deprive yourself. You still got a piece of cake, which is awesome. You still got some red sherbet punch, which is awesome. But you still kept it under control. You didn't just go nuts. Go in with a plan. Yes, it's hard. Yes, like you're going to stand in front of that buffet and be like, oh my gosh, I want to eat it all. But if you can just have that discipline, like, this is what my plan was, you know, and this is what my meal plan is planned for today, and these are my treats for the day, you will be set up for success. It's just being able to follow through, and that's up here. So I hope this was helpful. I love you guys so much. Tomorrow we're going to talk about planning. So come ready to make your meal plan. All right, talk to you later.